guys, to Broadish. We have a really amazing episode today. We have a lot of exciting things to discuss, so we're going to get going right away. We're going to start with Fight Me, and this week, Dhaya is taking Fight Me, and go for it, Dhaya.
Thank you so much, Felicia. So Fight Me on this is because Kamala Harris, who I love her vibe, I love her personality. She was expressing joy on the campaign trail and dancing in the rain and giving us a little boogie here and there. And this guy, in comparison, did some other dance that I have no idea what it was. It was, people on TikTok were trying to emulate it. It was like ridiculous to see, and people were complimenting him dancing, but then Peggy Noonan and others were like, oh, Kamala Harris doesn't look professional. She shouldn't be doing that. That makes her look like not ready for the job or whatever. And I just think that when Trump is dancing poorly, Republicans can't even see his bad policies, so they can't even see the bad dancing. I feel sorry for our country.
I agree. And Peggy Noonan insulting Kamala, girl, you can slip on the dick. Okay, that's what you could do. All right, because first of all, Kamala can dance. Like, she can actually dance, and she wasn't even busting out. She was grooving.
Yeah,
a little groove going. And so for Peggy Noonan to come for Kamala on her dancing, that's like, to me, that's like Tommy Lauren having a problem with Beyonce's dancing. Like, girl, this is not your lane, your highway, not even your stage. Just go sit down. Go sit down.
Holly, can you emulate the Trump dance? Do you know how to do it?
Let me see. It was just like your uncle at the wedding. Do you know what I mean? And it's fine for your uncle, but I'm not going to be like, this is dancing. I'm going to be like, it's fine for your uncle, but that's about it.
leave comedy to the comedians and leave dancing to the Broadway people. That's all I have to. I'm going on my theme here. That's all.
I actually loved it when our politicians are good at dancing. Barack Obama, he brought cool back into the White House because he was so good at dancing. So yes, go Kamala, go shake that booty of yours. I want to see you twerking.
I don't want to see Kamala twerking. I don't want to see you twerk. No, you're the vice president. No, you can have somebody twerk for you, but I don't want to see my vice president twerking.
No.
I'm going to have a lot of white people fighting me on this, but white dudes just can't dance.
There's a lot of white dudes that can't dance. But let me tell you something. As a Black woman who actually can shake that tail quite nicely, I just love it when I see people enjoy themselves. Yeah. So it doesn't matter to me if you could really dance or not. I just want to see you be happy on the dance floor.
He's the type man. He's the type man. Like, he's like just like a really uptight man. Like, and he can't let go. And it's kind of, I hate to say it, but my husband kind of dances like that.
You know what, Felicia? I don't know your husband, but I bet he dances so much better than this Donald Trump action. I want to name two white guys who I think can dance. Justin Timberlake, I think he can dance. He's always been able to dance. And Channing Tatum. I must have watched that clip from Magic Mike 20,000 times of him doing Pony. Channing Tatum can dance any day of the week, and I will watch it.
I love that Dhaya gets off on science and then Channing Tatum doing Magic Mike.
Honey, but first Channing Tatum, like, forget pork. He's the new white meat. Like, he really is. Yeah, straight up. To me, there's something about bad dancing I find really endearing. Like, when you really put your heart, as long as you don't injure anybody. You know what I mean? Just,
I don't know. There's nothing better than a guy that could dance well.
By the way, white men still dance a lot better than Asian men.
See, I don't know nothing about that.
I would have to say Indian men from Bollywood can dance pretty well. Like, have you seen all those choreographed scenes? Also, Korean pop, like BTS, those boys can dance too. So
they have to dance, or they get whooped or something. Like, I've heard like, you know, they have to do things, or they have to perform well. I don't know. I've just heard there's a lot of those groups. I heard they can be kind of rough.
Like, they all have tiger moms who are like, unless you dance, we're going to ground you, like that.
Well, I think we concluded that just in general, white men shouldn't dance.
Aww.
I'm going to overweight Channing Tatum and say, I still believe in America. If there can be a Channing Tatum that he's from Alabama, by the way. He's an Alabama.
He better be from Alabama.
He's from Alabama. He rose up. So I believe that there's hope for white men in the future.
Anyone can learn, I guess. Okay,
Well, they can.
we're gonna move on. Okay, to our next category: cougar or creepy. Here we go. It's the stereotypes of, an older man can be with a younger woman. No one thinks twice. But if an older woman's with a younger man, it is creepy, or is it?
So I've been canoodling with this guy, 14 years younger than me. So creep or cougar? I say feminist because there are all these guys going out with women 20, 30 years younger than them. And we have this wage disparity of women making 79 cents on the dollar. But we also have this age disparity of some women dating 6 months on the year. So I'm just doing my part to even things out. So when I go have a guy 14 years younger than me, I'm not doing it for me. I'm doing it for all of you.
The dynamics are changing. When women weren't equal and weren't working, we were with a man that would provide for us. So, if you marry someone younger, they're not as established and they're a little bit behind. So it might take longer to get the house and have the kids and take care. That's not an issue anymore. I always said that men didn't want equal rights because they knew once we did, we wouldn't even forget about younger or older. We don't need them at all. I could have the house, the kids, I could have everything. They don't do anything. So the dynamics change. And now that women are equal and we're making money and we don't really need the man to provide for us, we could go younger, older, do whatever we want.
What's funny though is that just as a woman, I like the idea of this young, man, hard body, but it's I don't like the idea that's this guy's of a different generation than me. Unless it was for a relationship. If I were single, I get when you're single, you just want to get with some dude that's younger. But I guess for me, it's sort of it feels weird. I guess for a relationship, it feels weird. We don't have the same memories. You know what I mean? I don't really know what I know older girl couples align all the time. For me, I'm just kind of I babysat millennials.
Well, I had one experience with a guy, surprisingly, so he was 14, 15, 16 years younger than me. I can't remember. I was
14, 25. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's all the same than me.
Jocelyn is an Asian that's not good at math. She can't keep track of how much.
Not when it comes to the age of men. I don't know. 19.
That's right. Oh, my friend Elon has a great joke. He's like, what age is appropriate for you? How low can you go? He's like, so take your age, divide it by half, plus 3, and if she can do that math. I met this young guy. I was at a show, and I saw this guy, and I was like, oh my God, he is so hot. And the moment I got on stage, he came and he sat in the front row, and then we actually started flirting and bantering with one another while I was on stage. He gave me his phone number while he was sitting in the audience.
Wow.
I got off the stage, I turned to him, and in front of everyone, I looked at him, I mouthed the words, and I walked off. And he came walking after me. And this was the one experience I had with a younger guy that we actually could have dated properly and got into a relationship. He wasn't a New Yorker, so he had to go back to his state. But in leaving, he was like, all right, you love letters. And he was texting me, I miss you already. That was very interesting. He had an old soul. So I was very skeptical about these old dudes saying, oh yeah, she's my soulmate. She's younger than me, but she's my soulmate. But I had one experience. I was like, maybe age is just a number.
You know what? I think R. Kelly said that, so I wouldn't quote him on that particular phrase. I feel like there's been so much judgment about women and women's sexuality, whether it's Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion or older women dating younger men, that I just feel like it's not our place to decide how a woman expresses herself or what she wants or what she desires. So, I would for myself, I would take a step back and be like, why does society think that that's cougar or creepy or weird? And isn't that just another way that we're telling women what they should do and they shouldn't do? So,
you're right.
So for me, I'm just like, is this me trying to tell other women what to do? Or but at the same time, if I see this really young woman with a much older guy, I'm more likely to be concerned because she's probably you can't even rent a car until you're 25. You can't really fully understand what a relationship is at that age. And like, I think the other is actually more detrimental when young women are forced into these arranged marriages without their personalities fully formed. So I feel like this is actually more empowering than the opposite that we see, that women get into these situations where they don't have the ability to advocate for themselves. I had a boyfriend, like we like seriously dated. He initiated the relationship. We were friends for a long time. He was 10 years younger than me. I thought that the generation gap was good for me because I've always been like really like thinking about the next thing and very feminist and like thinking about the future of the world and what's going to be like. And the younger that men are, and not like babies, of course, but they've like seen their moms like be part of the workforce. They have seen their sisters experience discrimination or harassment. They have actually grown up with women who are expressing themselves in different ways. Like my brother's 8 years younger than me, and my mom was going back to school for her master's while she was pregnant with him. He has a totally different outlook on women than sometimes, men my own age. So I think for strong women, for feminists, for women who are thinking about the future, this young guy thing could be actually a better match. But for me, I've never found older men to really get me because they sort of grew up with their moms, like being at home, doing all, cooking all the meals and being like a typical traditional mom, especially in the Indian community. And I'm not like that. So I've always found a mismatch in that way.
What I like about younger men is that they are so much less jaded than older men.
Yeah.
And that's what older men say about dating younger women. And I have
Yeah.
thinking about younger men too. They're more fun, they're more playful. This guy, okay, I know my aunties and uncles in Singapore are watching this, but this
Girl,
guy.
be careful, Jocelyn.
But this guy didn't just eat my WAP. He ate my feet.
It was so hot. I've never experienced anything like that. It's even better than them doing the other kind of eating,
I just have to go back to Dhaya for a second because I like how she compared dating someone to being able to rent a car. But I don't know. Also, dating younger is a good idea because when you get older, men age, I think, faster. They become slower. Like I dated an older man and they slow down. And I think women are more vibrant and for longer. So date younger.
Yeah, especially
Also,
if you don't want your husband to die on you. Men die younger, so get a
but
younger
also nobody should take my opinion on anything because I would literally go on a date with Anthony Fauci and I would also go on a date with Larry David. So don't ask my opinion on what is considered sexy.
We're going to move on to What Have We Here? OnlyFans. And we're going to have Hollie Harper discuss this with us.
Thank you, Felicia. Hi. So, okay, OnlyFans. About a month or two ago on Facebook, one of my friends posted this whole article about this girl who has stuff on OnlyFans and her father tipped her $100. And I was like, oh, that's so amazing. And then all of a sudden people were laughing at me and they were like, wait a minute, you don't know what OnlyFans is. Okay, so for people who don't know, OnlyFans is it's a British-based content subscription service where content creators earn money based on users that subscribe and your content is behind a paywall. The whole thing is most of it's porn. Okay, so here I was like, oh, that's family. Look at his dad looking out for his daughter, tipping her $100. And she had some nudie photos. She basically had some nudie videos and photos. And here I was thinking that family sticks together. But the thing about OnlyFans that it's gotten huge. Like this one woman, she makes like over $200,000 a year just on OnlyFans through subscription. So you can have a subscription for as low as $6 a month or as high as you want to go. You can just pay for a one-off. But it's really a lot of porn. It's a lot of amateur pornographers and sex workers. But like a lot of sex workers are finding that they don't have to do the one-on-one sex work because they can just have their stuff on OnlyFans. But it's also home to like fitness trainers, writers, artists, chefs, but it's mainly amateur porn and it's really huge. Like people are making crazy money. Like these sex workers are like all I do is I do my OnlyFans and I advertise on TikTok and I'm making crazy money. And I'm like, wow, OnlyFans.
I always
What
thought
I find so interesting is that there is so much free porn out there that people are actually paying these porn stars to support them. So that means there are a bunch of guys out there, maybe women too, who are supportive perverts.
I mean, but think about it. Like, people have Patreon and they support artists through Patreon. Yeah, it's that you give like whatever amount a month. I mean, I have a friend. She has a Patreon page and she gets people who support her. Like, people send her $10 a month, $20 a month because they believe in a certain artist. People are doing that now. Everything is being so specialized. People are doing that with pornographers and sex workers. So I'm like, I find that very interesting because you're right. There's so much free porn out there, but people are like, no, I want to support Lacey. I want to support Leather and Lacey. That's what I want to do.
I once performed stand up and I went on after a porn star who after the end of the show everyone wanted to take pictures with her and I'm like, why are people taking pictures with her? First of all, her whole routine was about being a porn star and talking about it, and everyone couldn't tell if she was like telling the truth or not. She looked like she looked hot, but she didn't look like she'd be a porn star, although I don't know what that really looks like. But anyway, after she got off, I was like, why are people taking pictures? And then I saw how many followers she had, and I'm like, oh, can I take a picture with you? And I mean, they really have huge amount of the porn stars, the strippers.
Yeah.
I got a lot of old men following me after that post.
Ha!
Wow. But what was so crazy is that, I've been hearing about OnlyFans for a few months because, and side note, I asked my husband about OnlyFans. He was like, "What's that?" I was like,
"Oh, that's good."
And then I realized my husband is so busy, he doesn't even have time for OnlyFans. That's what's really going on. But I was on a podcast the other day, and one of the women on the podcast, she's a comedian. She was talking about how she has an OnlyFans page, and all she does is like eat exotic fruit in her underwear, and she makes money off of OnlyFans.
Oh my!
I was like, wow.
Okay, I've decided I'm no longer going to be a Karen sneak. I'm going to be an OnlyFans sneak.
Do it, girl.
So much more fun.
If I could eat some apples and bananas in my bikini, like, okay, like you can see me for free doing that at the beach. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just kind of like,
I'll be eating bonbons in a bikini.
Yes.
I'll be eating durian in a bikini.
What do we be eating?
Durian. I love durian.
Oh my God, you do? It's so nasty.
Well, you know how you can get different levels, like durian 1, 2, 3, 4. I stick with like 1 and 2, and I like it.
I didn't know there were levels. Wow, you know more about durian than I do.
Yeah, I went like nuts when I was in Singapore. Like I took durian cake on the flight with me, and people were staying away from me, which is perfect. It's a great pandemic thing to do. Just wear a durian necklace, no one will come near you.
I've never had durian, and I've heard about, what exactly is it?
Is this really stinky? I think tastes disgusting, but some people think it tastes delicious fruit in Singapore. It's very spiky on the outside. It's got actual spikes, so you could throw it at someone, it'll be a weapon. You can eat it and talk to someone, that'll be a weapon too. And you actually have signs on the Singapore train that would say no durian allowed. So that's how potent this fruit is. I was born in America, so my mom didn't eat durian when I was in her stomach. So I have an aversion to it. I have white person's taste. I was in Singapore, 5 years old, came downstairs, saw my 3-year-old sister eating durian, all my family eating durian. I was like, wow, must be delicious. So I took one bite. I was like, bleh. I'm the only one in my family who doesn't eat durian.
I think Jocelyn and I should do this on OnlyFans. Like eating durian and liking it, and the other person not liking it, and maybe
you have to wear bikinis.
Well, I'm practically just I'm just in my tank top today with my hair unwashed, so I'm 50% there already. But what would I do for my OnlyFans? I would have a sexy picture, and then as soon as someone came into the OnlyFans area, I would be like, how much calculus have you taken? Because I want to teach you some basic concepts. And I would lure them in and get them to be good at math and science. And I'm doing something good for our country. So that's what I would do for my OnlyFans.
I thought you could lure them in and then make them vote for Biden.
You could do civics in your bikini.
Civics. I do
Civics
civics.
lessons.
I would do math. I'll do whatever it takes to get people to not be so dumb in America.
Thank
I'd
you.
be like, if a QAnon person comes on, I'm like, look, you're not
Ooh.
going to get more than this unless you tell me what QAnon is, and and I can convince you that that's shit. So that there's going to be a little layer in between me and my fans.
Well, by the way, the girl who's a creator of OnlyFans, Erica Heidewald, she's quite clever. She's got quite a little clever tongue on her. Ha ha ha. But she was on Twitter, and she basically, like, when you Google like OnlyFans, and then like her name comes up, and you Google and you like click on her and who she is, her first thing is a tweet where she's just like, QAnon is this white ISIS. And I was like, is she wrong? I think she's quite correct. Like,
And she must be a gajillionaire by now, huh?
well, she's making crazy money. She's making really young, 24, 25 years old.
Can't even drive a car. Shouldn't date an older man.
Hey,
Nice.
there you go.
I know I should have gone into MILF porn. It was a wrong career choice.
Not too late, Felicia.
I could do both.
Yeah.
I don't even have to change my name. It's a great porn name.
And your husband is the one
Totally.
giving you $100.
He's been very supportive of the comedy. I don't think so for MILF porn.
I'd be like, all right, now you can pay the bills, honey.
On that note, we're going to move on, guys, to here we go, hell no or hell yes. So, de Blasio got on the news yesterday, and it was actually an article in the New York Times today about Thanksgiving and the holidays. People have given up so much for the holidays, and should they really have to give up Thanksgiving? I personally don't care. I don't get to see my family. I'll save a turkey. So let's. I'm all for hashtag save a turkey. Let's all stay home. Anyone else?
Well, my home is Singapore, so I can't. Singapore won't let me in.
Oh,
Even if I promise not to bring durian on the airplane, they won't let me in.
You're not allowed back.
Not allowed back, no.
You can't even go and like quarantine for 2 weeks like Australia or New Zealand. Like you can't even go.
Right, coming from America as a non-Singaporean anymore, I can't.
well, I mean, I gotta admit, I'm kind of sad, and I gotta figure out like something, because I love Thanksgiving, and I'm truth be told, I really don't even do family Thanksgiving. I do Friendsgiving. We have like a crew.
Well, that's why you're excited about it.
Yeah, but we have a crew of like 10 families. We've been doing Thanksgiving together for about 10 years, where it would be like 30, 40 people. And that's what we do. We get together, we cook. We used to have it downstairs in my best friend's apartments. Then we were at the beer hall where the people owned. Then we were at someone's house. So it's like, it's kind of sad, the idea that we wouldn't do that this year. So I get it that it's not the best thing for us all to get together and spread COVID, but that's sad.
I
That's
feel like
sad.
people have such COVID fatigue these days that they're just going to do it anyway. That's my
A lot of
sense.
people will, and they'll
Yeah.
get people sick. They will.
Yeah, I mean, I also don't really get that excited about Thanksgiving. Like, my parents are immigrants, so they never bought into this whole, like, it's not that exciting to think, oh, these pilgrims came over, Native Americans helped them, and then they killed them all. Like, it's not a holiday that I really feel any kind of connection to. So, I mean, I like some of the food. I like pumpkin pie. I like sweet potato pie. I like a couple of the dishes, but I don't eat turkey. So Thanksgiving has never been like a big deal for me. It's like whatever. Like, Indian food is so much better than Thanksgiving food. It has flavor. So I would rather just go see my family when it's safe and have actual good food, not Thanksgiving food.
But you're right about the pumpkin pie. That's my favorite part of Thanksgiving.
Girl, sweet potato pie. And the thing is, I cook for like 3 days.
Wow.
Like, I make everything but the turkey. Like, I'll make a pie. I make macaroni and cheese.
Macaroni and cheese.
Yams, black eyed peas, mashed potatoes, string beans, stuffing. Like, I make everything. And my husband does the cornbread.
Holly, how do we get an invite to this?
And who does the turkey then?
2 other women do the turkeys. We do like a couple different turkeys. We have like a smoked turkey, a fried turkey, a baked turkey. We'll have like competing mashed potatoes. We have competing stuffing, and then like competing collard greens. But my collard greens, my black eyed peas are incomparable.
I would eat at Hollie's Thanksgiving because that actually sounds like food that I would like. Is the cornbread in an iron skillet, Holly?
Oh my God.
Yes, my husband makes Keith can make some really good cornbread. My husband makes some, and it's so funny because I'll be cooking for 3 days and all of a sudden he'll be like, "It's time for my cornbread," and I'm like, "Brother, I've been cooking." Like I look like a damn runaway slave in the kitchen. Like I'm just all crazy. I'm like, all the burners are going, the oven. Me and my friend, that we each make like at least 4 or 5 dishes each. And then one year I made like 7 dishes. Like I cook for days. I love it. I'm sorry.
Can I tell you a conspiracy theory?
Yes.
So, green bean casserole was invented by this woman. This is her real name. Her name is Dorcas, Dorcas Riley, and she worked for the Campbell Soup Company, and no one was eating cream of mushroom soup. So she made this elaborate recipe to try to push that out the door. So that's where green bean casserole came from.
See, that's the thing.
Mushroom soup. Really? No one was drinking that?
It's amazing.
Devour it in Singapore.
People like cream of mushroom soup. I think it's
Cream of
disgusting.
mushroom soup? Really? Oh my God. Cream of mushroom soup with when you put bread in it and just no? Not a thing here?
I mean, from the can, it's kind of gross. Maybe you've had some good kind. I don't know.
It's just Campbell's cream of mushroom soup.
Oh, it's so gross.
See, I'll use that to make smothered chicken and like chicken fried steak. Like I'll use it for those. Like I love fat people food. I was like fat people.
I think we
But,
found
like-
Jocelyn's OnlyFans. She's going to be eating cream of mushroom soup naked.
Oh God!
Oops, some drip down. Oh, I'm so sorry. No, not
Stop.
But you know what? I'm more sad about Halloween because Halloween, especially on the West Coast, it's not too cold. You can go outside in a sexy costume. Like people are in the streets. Everyone's dressed up. So I'm really gonna miss Halloween more than Thanksgiving, and it's kind of sad because usually I dress up as one of 2 costumes. I have like a pumpkin costume with like a little stem, and I call myself Jack-Ass-O-Lantern because I like kind of have an attitude as a jack-o'-lantern. And then one year I had like a black purse and like dark sunglasses, and I was Jackie O-Lantern, and I was very fabulous.
Aww.
So I either dress as that or I dress as Indian Wonder Woman. And you know, Wonder Woman is coming out again this year. So both of my costumes have been destroyed, and I'm sad that I can't. So I'm doing a Zoom show on Halloween, so I'll probably dress up for the Zoom show.
I have to say that was a great misdirect, Dhaya, when you were talking about your sexy Halloween costume.
Yeah, I was like,
Wait, Dhaya in a sexy Halloween costume? And then she has the old pumpkin costume.
I am a huge fan of sexy Halloween costumes.
Thick can be attractive. Thickness in the shape of a pumpkin can be very hot. Just look at what Rihanna's doing with her Savage Fenty or whatever.
I'm excited for Halloween not being here because for once I might be now able to resist all the candy.
Oh, well, we're actually, me and my mom crew, we're throwing a Halloween party on our roof because it's outside and, you know, we're going to social distance a little bit, but like, we're going to be on the roof and we're doing like a little fashion show. We're having music, dancing, but we're doing the candy like in those little like plastic sandwich bags. So we're each putting together packages of candy. That way you can just, here you go.
Well, getting back to Thanksgiving and traveling, it's interesting because I've traveled a couple of times on the plane. I went to Austin in August, and now I just went out to Seattle. And I'm already noticing an increase in traffic. Even from the time I went to Seattle and 5 days later came back, there was a line, there was TSA, the plane left a little late. It had been a pleasure. So it's scary because people are increasing their travel and they're out more. And it definitely looks like there's going to be an influx. So I don't know. I think people need to be a little careful.
I definitely agree. I would say if you're going to do Thanksgiving with people, I would kind of just, I don't know if you could pod with people, quarantine pod, but I don't know. I don't know. Like
Did you see those little gerbil things that I posted it on Facebook? They have these like little gerbil homes for us.
Yes, I saw that. I was like, oh my God.
We're gonna be like the boy in the, the suit.
Boy in the bubble.
Yeah, the boy in the bubble. That's what we're turning into. Let's wrap it up, guys, by saying everyone have a happy and safe Halloween and Thanksgiving, and we hope that we could all safely get together with our families soon. Thank you from Broadish. I hope you enjoyed the episode.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.